totoo nga bang nangyari?
Totoo.
Yeah, totoo nga ba siya nangyari? Kasi yun yung mahirap paniwalaan eh.
Yes.
Okay, there is a person named Jesus Christ, but did he really rose up from the dead just as the gospel tells us?
So Pastor Bryan, why don't you share with us why the New Testament is a reliable document?
Okay, earlier we talked about these people, historians outside of the Bible, talking about Jesus Christ, the person of Jesus Christ. Of course, they're not theological teaching, but they attested that Jesus Christ is a real person. And actually, if you're gonna ask many scholars right now, nobody would deny that Jesus Christ. There's a man named Jesus Christ who was crucified, who was a Jew. The Bible, especially the New Testament, they were not written to become a religious book. No, it was years later that the church included these gospels, these accounts, these letters of Paul into the New Testament. But actually, they were written as historical documents, especially the synoptic gospels that talks about the life of Jesus. Now, these gospels, they have thousands of copies. So many people, when they talk about when they try to critique the Bible, is they critique about accurate pa ba yan? Accurate pa ba yung Bible na yan? Narinig ko maraming mistakes, maraming and in its transition until our time. Paano siya we don't have the original autographs, the original manuscripts, and so how do we know it is real? But siguro first thing I want to say about this is that the oral and writing tradition of the Jews are very strict. So when it comes to their oral tradition, passing and even writing, the scribes, they took it religiously. So talagang meticuloso nilang ginagawa yan. Small mistakes, basta nakikita nila, they will rewrite everything. Now, people would say, so paano yung mga talagang human errors, human mistakes? I just want to say that, yes, the Bible does contains these errors, but they're very minimal. Even scholars, both, again, Christian and non-Christian, would say that
serious scholars, by
serious
the way.
Scholars,
serious scholars, even Bart Ehrman.
That this, itong mga errors are usually misspellings, So may mga changes sa spellings and stuff, words, but actually the message are the same. It's very clear. The core message is there. And so, in terms of error in message, hindi natin kailangan mag-alala. Knowing the strict oral and writing tradition of the Jewish. What's great about these accounts about Jesus in the Bible, they were actually written around 25 to 65 years after Jesus' death. Now, you might think, ang tagal nun. Kasi in our generation, may marinig kang nangyari kanina sa news na later on. But during those times, they don't have that technology. To give a context of that, Alexander the Great. The earliest records that are found about him are actually 300 years later sa life niya. So, ganun talaga. So, if you see, gold standard yung New Testament, in recording history, 25 to 65 years. Even the great Julius Caesar, the writings about him that we have now are 80 years, as early as 80 years after his death. Imagine, si Jesus, 25 to 65. And those tells us that they are very accurate. Nobody denies the historicity of Alexander the Great and Julius Caesar. But they're very critical of Jesus. But again, these writings in the New Testament were not written as a religious writing originally. They were historical accounts of Jesus. And that's why we can trust Jesus on this. And even Paul, yung mga letters niya, they're actually quite early in the in writing. And we have thousands and thousands of copies that we can compare. And I remember nga, when I was in seminary, we have to study the New Testament in Greek. I have this Greek Bible. May mga nakasulat pa na footnotes kung sa anong scroll, anong ganyan. Kasi sobrang daming copies. So, it's really there and we have it. And I think one of the implication of this, now, going to the New Testament, is yung criticism nila about the resurrection of Jesus. Totoo nga bang nangyari?
Totoo.
Yeah, totoo nga ba siya nangyari? Kasi yun yung mahirap paniwalaan eh.
Yes.
Okay, there is a person named Jesus Christ, but did he really rose up from the dead just as the gospel tells us?
Yes.
That's always the challenge when it comes to the Bible, na many of the critics say, baka yan invento lang talaga.
Baka invento lang.
No, but they're actually, if you're gonna look at how the New Testament were written, the gospel, there's so many things that proves it, actually. Yes. No, it's hard to the even scholars, no, serious scholars, as you mentioned them.
Yes, they're serious scholars. Yes.
That itong Jesus resurrecting, hindi nila alam paano nangyari, but they know that it was not a fabrication. By looking at the Gospels, how it was written, it's not a fabrication. Okay? Yeah. You want something to add there?
Yeah, so siguro I'll just add some numbers to give us some more, mas makita natin yung perspective dito. No? When you compare, let's say, the New Testament copies, you got around the ancient manuscripts, concerning the New Testament. Sa Greek pa lang, you got 5,824. By the way, I got these statistics from crossexamine.org, no? And by the way, just want to mention, just to want to give credit, sa coldcasechristianity.com din, no? So,
they have lots of
yung
resources.
Kaninang minention natin, there's plenty of resources out there. But here's the thing, we got 5,824 copies of the original Greek. Hindi pa kasama dito ang Latin, Syriac, Coptic, and Arabic. No? If you add them all together, that's around 20,000 manuscripts. No?
Wow.
When you compare that kay Julius Caesar na kanina minention mo, he got only 10 copies. No? Demosthenes is only around 400 copies. No? Sabihin na natin, si Homer's Iliad, no? You only got around 1,800 copies. No? Pliny only got 7 copies. Tacitus only got 20 copies. No, just imagine, how can you even compare that to the New Testament manuscripts? And by the way, yun nga, sabi mo kanina, no, it's the closest thing, the earliest copy that we have about Homer's Iliad, itong copy ni Homer's Iliad was around 400 years after.
Yes.
400 years after si Homer. Just want to mention na the more manuscripts you have, yun nga, tulad na sabi mo kanina, no, there are mistakes, copies, error, meron mga inconsistencies when it comes to spelling, but it doesn't change the core message.
Yes.
And the great thing about having plenty of copies is that pwede mong i-compare. And by the way, walang nagtatago ng facts, no? Makikita mo yun. When you look at your English translation, makikita mo maraming footnotes.
Yes.
If there is a difference, naka-document properly yun.
They are.
Okay? So, I think medyo mauubos yung oras natin, no?
Okay.
But we'll take a quick break and we're gonna come back, no? And we're gonna talk about the resurrection
of Jesus.
no? Resurrection of Jesus Christ.